What would you say if we asked you to describe your ideal home? Maybe something like cozy in the mountains and, most importantly, away from humans. While many people we know enjoy company more than anything, some of us actually prefer to be by ourselves. And it's something we frequently wondered why. Why do some people prefer solitude? Weren't we supposed to be sociable beings after all? People also have negative perceptions like nerds are loners, but we're here to tell you that this may say more about them than you. According to some studies, preferring to be alone is a sign of high intelligence. Stay with us, we'll talk more about why bright people choose solitude in this video. If you're new here, subscribe for more social psychology videos and leave a comment below saying I subscribed. I'll try my best to reply to as many comments as possible. Let's start. Number 9. You don't need others to solve your problems. One of the intriguing arguments put out by researchers as to why most intelligent individuals may favor solitude is an evolutionary one. As you know, working in groups enables us to overcome obstacles and find solutions. Our success is a result of this. Our ability to exchange knowledge has greatly impacted human progress on Earth. But here's the thing, the brightest members of the group are less dependent on others. It's believed that humans acquired intellect as a means of overcoming particular difficulties. So the less you rely on the community for support, the smarter you are. Simply put, those that are intelligent are less dependent on others since they can solve their own problems, so they don't crave or seek out company. Sure, deep connections, relationships, friendships, etc. bring happiness and fulfillment to the majority of people. But according to one study, this isn't the case for really intelligent people. More than 15,000 survey responses from people between the ages of 18 and 28 were evaluated. The majority of people behaved as expected, as in they were happy the more social they were. But get this, it appeared that the opposite was true when it came to the extremely bright members of the group. In fact, the more social they were, the unhappier they got. Number 8. You feel more productive. There are so many ways that intelligence can be expressed, so it's normal for smart people to value solitary intellectual pursuits. For example, you might prefer to read quietly or think deeply about a fascinating concept or subject. Even though being around other people might be entertaining, a highly intelligent person like you may see it as a waste of time. Hanging out, chit-chatting, and taking pleasure in other people's company becomes a diversion from more useful work, doesn't it? Reading, writing, learning, studying, producing, and contemplating are superior uses of your time if you're serious about developing yourself, and all of which are frequently carried out more efficiently if you're working alone. In fact, you might find it easier to focus when there's no one else around. It's simple to drift off while we're around other people. What other people say and do diverts our attention, and we often find ourselves dragged into conversations about topics we don't find interesting. Number 7. You find more time to think deeply. Those who spend the most time contemplating big ideas and theories are also the smartest people we know, right? Because of their unconventional thinking, they frequently struggle with what they see as trivialities and nonsense. You might find the way the world fits together absolutely fascinating. How is society organized? Why do wars break out? What brings us joy? Where does life originate? And this desire to learn more is fueled by curiosity. Intelligent people may use their brains well, but all that thinking takes time. They tend to think things through to their best conclusion rather than jumping to conclusions, which means you might enjoy immersing yourself in thought for long periods of time without being disturbed. You can't do that around people, can you? Number 6. You find it hard to find like-minded people. We've all heard opposites attract each other, but how true is that? In actuality, people are drawn to those who are similar to them. We seek people who are on our wavelength as friends and companions. One of the possible drawbacks of high intelligence is that there may be far fewer people in your immediate environment with whom you feel on an equal footing. A whopping 98% of people have IQs below 130. So it seems to us that if you're a member of the 2%, you're definitely a minority. If you're exceptionally brilliant, you probably think differently than the majority of people. Finding points of connection with others can also be more difficult as a result. Being around people you don't feel understood by can really be more alienating than being by yourself, right? Because they don't come across as people who you naturally click with and want to spend time with. As a highly intelligent person, you may gravitate more towards your own company. It's completely natural to feel that socializing is more taxing if you don't have an interest in the folks you hang out with. Number 5. You might get stressed out around people. The fact that intelligent people have evolved to fit into contemporary society is an intriguing evolutionary theory for why the most intelligent people prefer solitude. Most of our cultures are now dispersed throughout heavily metropolitan areas rather than local settlements. As a result, we're now substantially more exposed to strangers. Living in the commotion of a metropolis is far more stressful for people. One idea holds that when we began to spend more and more time in cities, the smartest people developed coping mechanisms for living in such high-stress environments. Withdrawal was the simplest evolutionary response. Intelligent people may desire more alone time to escape the rigors of modern life. It involves more than just avoiding crowds. It's also about releasing yourself from the demands of having to communicate with others. Number 4. You may need to recharge away from people. Researchers think it's possible that super smart people have the same energy recharging needs as introverts after being around people. They might also require a reset after being around people due to how they may have developed to deal with urban environments. It might be challenging to handle the ongoing demands and expectations put on you when you're always surrounded by people. And hey, overstimulation is a thing. Some people decide to walk off and do their own thing to avoid the burden of engaging with too many people at once. In order to adapt to their surroundings more effectively, intelligent people are changing in ways like this reset time. This doesn't mean that you don't like social interaction, but your brilliant mind needs to take some time alone to refuel and unwind. Number 3. You are independent. People with intelligence frequently hold firm beliefs about how things need to be done. Contrary to popular belief, intellectual people are often unwilling to compromise and have great leadership qualities, in contrast to those who'd prefer to follow the crowd. So when you have to spend time navigating someone else's ideas, do you get irritated? You might find yourself thinking of solutions that no one else has because you're so adept at reasoning rationally. As a result, intelligent people occasionally come off to others as snobbish or self-centered. But most of the time, they're just doing what they think is right. Let's just say they're naturally lone wolves due to their strong sense of independence, rather than timid old follow-the-herd sheep. Number 2. You prefer quality over quantity. Now here's something we want to be clear on. Intelligent people don't hate being among others, nor are they complete recluses just because they enjoy being alone. In fact, they typically place a high priority on relationships. The fact of the matter is, they frequently learn to cherish time with others more from their alone time. You prefer to have a number of high-quality connections rather than spending all of your time with relationships of just any kind. So if you're in the inner circle of someone who's highly intelligent, or if you're someone who picks out people carefully, feel special. These meaningful connections aren't shallow social fillers. Brainiacs prefer to have fewer relationships with which they can invest more meaningful time instead of spending time in huge groups. Even though their circles may be smaller, this ensures that they are not spread too thin. And this way, you can concentrate on actually learning about and enjoying the company of the people you let in. Number 1. You don't get FOMO. FOMO is becoming a widely used phrase in contemporary culture. The fear of missing out on something intriguing or thrilling that's happening elsewhere causes this anxiety. But for highly intelligent people, the ability to concentrate on what's happening in front of them and the task at hand is usually a better bargain. There's less room for their attention to wander because they're focused on the here and now. As a result, they're less likely to consider or be concerned about what other people are doing. Realistically, you're more likely to experience fulfillment on your own when you're less inclined to spend time thinking about what's happening elsewhere. So, congratulations, because you've won in life. Now, you need to watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. It will show you how to be more likable by learning the 10 secrets to making anyone like you. Make sure to watch it now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.